Directed by Brian User, Silent Night Deadly Night 4 Initiation is a dramatic departure from the slasher roots of the franchise. This installment shifts gears into a psychological horror, cult, body horror, bug movie. Fun fact, it's actually called Silent Night Deadly Night 4 Bugs here in the UK on some DVDs and physical media releases, which is kind of cool. The film has nothing to do with like the sadness stuff with the original movie. It's based on this thing which Brian User did, and it's also directed by Brian User, who, fun fact, is the same guy who did the reanimated movies. Go check out my review for those, but yeah, it's very weird. It really has nothing to do with Christmas as well. It just sort of has a little Christmas backdrop rather than that being the central theme of the movie. And it tries to do a lot, and it's kind of fails miserably, but it's got Ice Cream Man. The film begins in Los Angeles during the Christmas season. Kim, who is a young and ambitious reporter working at a local newspaper, is frustrated by her editor, who assigns her stupid stories, boring stuff, and he instead assigns it to her friend slash romantic sexual partner, is the best way I can say it, because I'm exactly boyfriend and girlfriend. But yeah, so while walking through the city, she stumbles upon a disturbing scene. The charred corpse of a woman who has mysteriously fallen from a building rooftop, and the incident is ruled as suicide. But Kim thinks there's more to the story, and trust me, there bloody well is. So Kim's curiosity leads her to this charismatic woman who runs a local store. She befriends Kim and invites her into a little circle of women, including a few other people, and the cultist Ricky, who is played by Clint Howard. I have no idea if this is supposed to be the same Ricky as the previous 3 movies, but I had to think for a second if he was in the first one, but I remembered, yeah, he is just a child. I have no idea. I guess it's just a coincidence of name, but if this is Ricky, 1, how did he get the top of his head back? 2, why does he look so different? And 3, what's his obsession with bugs? But yeah, these women subtly manipulate Kim, introducing her to the weird little beliefs and practices which revolve around ancient rituals and the rejection of patriarchal oppression, which, you know, it's so cool in this movie, but like, the way they do it is just very weird, because later in the film, in typical Silent Night fashion, Ricky assaults Kim, and I don't know how this is exactly breaking away from that, because they kind of tell him to force himself onto her, which I was like, okay, it's a bit weird. It doesn't really fit with the themes of the movie very well. I feel it's just sort of there because all the other movies have an assault scene in them. But yeah, as Kim delves deeper into her investigation, she begins experiencing some strange and terrifying phenomena. She experiences pretty much some hallucinations, she sees some faces in places, and she even sees some bugs, which appear everywhere. She also starts to suspect that she's been groomed to replace the deceased woman, who, big twist, the bookshop owner lady reveals that she and her circle are part of people who pretty much they take people and they do bug stuff. I had no real idea what was going on. It was like 3 in the morning when I watched this movie. I have some stuff written down. It's mainly just about the bugs. I'm going off of what I remember. But yeah, also at one point she's drugged and she hallucinates being consumed by a bug and also transforming into a bug. Sees insects everywhere. Like, the film's got a lot of bugs, which is all thanks to Screaming Mad George, who of course did the effects in some of the Reanimator movies. And that's cool, you know. I find it kind of awesome how the 2 franchises, which I was reviewing simultaneously, have actually crossed over technically. And yeah, Kim's buddy, Hank, then becomes concerned with her behaviour and involvement with the bookshop owner lady dude thing. I don't remember her name. He confronts them, but he then gets murdered by Ricky. And yeah, the film then pretty much ends with Kim overpowering the bookshop owner lady. And then she walks past the others like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Hmm? Yeah, I just killed your leader and stuff like that. It's yeah. So ultimately, this movie is a bold and very weird movie in the series. Brian Uson's trademark body horror is on full friggin' display because, like, it's got some slimy insect things, it's got some gore, it's got some disgusting assault sequences. But this is the thing with this franchise, is that really necessary? Okay, maybe in the first one, or it's not necessary, but like, at least with the first one, you know, it was part of the proper storyline. It isn't just like, hey, let's write in a random assault here. Like, I can't really remember if it was part of the initiation or the ritual in this movie, but either way, it's weird. Also, since we're just about halfway through this video now, why don't you consider subscribing if you've enjoyed. And even if you haven't, well, let me know why in the comments. And as I was saying, yeah, you know, the effects are handled by Screaming Mad George, you know, they're impressive, disturbing, and really cool. Like, if this movie wasn't all over the place, kind of bad, and a bit too gropey, it would be a fun little trippy horror movie, but sadly it feels way too disjointed, poorly paced, and the film's feminist themes are intriguing but really badly handled. The script really lacks any depth needed to fully explore its ideas. And Kim going from this frustrated journalist who's like being pushed aside by all the men in her thing to suddenly being rushed into this weird witch thing, and then like Ricky does some weird things and like I really don't get it. You know, the person who plays Kim, she does a good enough job. You know, she does a good performance, but like, you know, like, the movie is really all over the place. And as much as I love Clint Howard, he couldn't save this movie for me. Like, I love him so much. He's such a fun little character actor, but sadly, the cast is just really forgettable, including him in this movie. I mean, my biggest issue with the movie is just its complete abandonment of, like, the slasher roots and just any really references to Christmas, besides, like, a scene where Ricky is sat on the bed and they're for some reason playing bloody Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, the bit where, like, the lead is sat on Santa's lap and she's listing off, like, a billion things that she wants. I want this, I want that. You're like, 23 years old, grow up. But yeah, aside from a few, like, passing references to Christmas, the film could have really just been released under a completely different title without anyone noticing. No one would really know. I mean, I wanted more Santa murdering people, which is what I really wanted more of the third movie, but, you know, the third movie's a third movie, at least it's connected. This one is more like, this is actually happening, and those movies are movies, I guess. But yeah, this movie is definitely ambitious, but ultimately it feels really misguided to attempt to revive the franchise. Revive, or maybe even reanimate the franchise. It's definitely got some good body horror work and surreal visuals that would definitely appeal to people who like Brian Uson's work, but it feels really out of place in a series that is really only known for being the Killer Santa series. It's like, when your entire stick is Santa Claus murdering people, or I guess a dude dressed as Santa Claus murdering people, you should probably stick to it, or at least, if you're going to do something different, don't differentiate too far where it will just not work at all, like this movie. And, I mean, ultimately, the bugs are cool, but besides from that, it kind of sucks. I give it like a 3 out of 10. It's really not good, but there's still 2 more movies, and maybe those will be worse, or even better. I mean, the next one at least looks like it has something to do with Christmas and a guy dressed as Santa Claus, so that interests me, and I'm going to watch that tonight. So I'm going to end off this video here. What do you guys think about Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation, or Bugs? I'm just going to go and call it Bugs, because it's really not Silent Night, Deadly Night. Let's call it Bugs 1 Initiation. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Until next time, bye-bye.